Hey, what's up everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I'll be sharing with you my September wrap up, so please stay tuned. And I am back, and also if you're new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. So like I said before, I'm going to be sharing with you my September wrap up. There's been a lot of great reads, disappointing reads, reads. But I believe I read a total of 10 books. It's mixed with also children's books as well. But let's go ahead and get with this first book that I read. So I read The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This was my first time reading it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, of course. And I had done this for the read along at Beautifully Bookish Bethany's channel with a few other lovely ladies that had read this last month. We're now going to be reading The Obelisk Gate, the second book of the Broken Earth series. So I'm going to be reading that shortly, probably in the next couple of days. I'll be reading the second book because this book was absolutely amazing. I love the world. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but like Asun, Cyanite, Demaya, Alabaster, I loved it. Hoa, I really just love it. Tonki, I really enjoyed this book, and I'm so excited to read the second book because I want to know what happens. It was so sad at the end. I was a little bit crying, to be honest with you. So it's like I got to find out what happens next. So it's all about these obelisk gates and stone eaters and whatnot. So yes, a 5 out of 5 star read for The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Next book was a disappointment. I had done a reading vlog for this book, which I'll leave it up above. And I had said in that video I rated it 3.5 stars, and technically I was being way too nice. So I'm gonna really give this a 2 star, and that is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. I will let you watch that reading vlog up above so you can get a better understanding of why I rated it a 2. Like I said, I know I said 3.5, but I was being too generous and too nice, and this book does not deserve that. So I would give it a 2 star read for me. But yeah, I also read White Smoke. Once again, I'll leave that up above so you can check out my reading vlog for this book. Next book I had read is The Mirror, The Broken Wish by Julie C. Dow. There's going to be another book. It's called Shattered Mirror by Danielle Clayton. It was supposed to be coming out in October, I believe, but I think got pushed back into next year in either January or February. This book came out last year in 2020. Yeah. And so I read this. This is pretty much following a girl named Elva, and she has magic. She has powers that's due to it was only due to what her mother had done with Mathilda. Her mother is Agnes, and she befriended a witch who was named Mathilda, and they made an agreement of whatever that Mathilda would help Agnes get pregnant, and Agnes will still be Mathilda's friend and will still come over. But Agnes broke her promise, so that was a curse that her daughter Elva pretty much had taken, was powers, which had, sort of is a family curse. And so with this, at the very end, we realized that Elva is gone. She had made a decision that Mathilda was warning her not to do with her magic because it's forbidden. There's no good can come from it. And so she ends up pretty much gone. She's gone. But she does have 2 brothers, which this is a generational story. So in the next book, we'll probably be following her brothers or her brothers' children. But this was a great book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because it was fairly short. I felt like something could have been added to the book. I think there's more information we could have got out of Elva or also Mathilda and Agnes's story, but it was so good. So 4 stars for The Broken Wish by Julie C. Dow. Really loved it though, and I cannot wait to read I think The Shattered Mirror by Danielle Clayton. So we have this. These next 2 books I read back to back because I fell in love with the first one. So this other one is Akata Witch by Nidhi Korafor and Akata Warrior by Nidhi Korafor. I loved both of these books. I was late to the party, but I have finally caught up. I really enjoyed both of these books, especially with since it's located in Nigeria. The storyline is located in Nigeria, and we have this girl named Suni who is from the United States and moves to Nigeria where all her family lives, pretty much. And she ends up meeting some of people that become her close friends: Sasha, Chichi, Orlu. Even Orlu and Sunny start having, you know, some type of love interest in the second book and a little bit in the first book. And she finally finds out that she is a free agent where she has powers. And then we have leopard people who are considered people with no powers at all. And she is a free agent because she is somewhere, she is born of it. She doesn't know where until later on in this book where she gets her powers from, which is her grandmother. And so during this time, as she's trying to learn the trade and stuff like that, being a free agent and reading the Nisitivity book, which she reads in this book, which helps her with everything, she earns cheating. Cheating is like coins. They have different values. I believe the copper one is the most valuable one. Copper and silver is less valuable, but they get cheating based off once they gain knowledge by reading and learning from experiences that they face on a regular basis. And so in this book, we deal with where they try to capture Black Hat, who was her grandmother's, which her grandmother was the mentor of Black Hat, and he became evil, and a lot of children in Nigeria are being killed and mutilated. So this book was really good. 5 out of 5 stars for this one, and this was a 5 out of 5 stars as well. We go more into of Sunny learning more about the trade, learning about more of her magic and her powers. She also has a spirit face, I believe that's what it's called, where she loses her spirit face but still tries to find a way where they can tie each other together. But I really enjoyed this book. I listened to them both on audiobook, and it was really amazing. Now I can't wait to read Akata Woman, the third book, which comes out in January next year. So 5 out of 5 stars for both of these books right here. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. This book, I was going to give it a 3, but maybe a 3 or 4 star read, and that is A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the third book out of the Akata series. I liked the detail, but I felt like it could have been shorter because some of the stuff wasn't necessary. I felt like it got dragged along with the war and everything between Highburn and all that stuff. I do like there was some type of steamy scenes, just a little bit with Rysand and Farah. And then we get to know more from sides from her sister, especially Nessa and Cassian, and Elaine and Lucian, and learning more about Lucian's background and who his real father is. So we learned a few things in this book, which I do appreciate. But like I said, it was just too dragged. It was dragged along. So maybe I would say a 3. I'll give it a 3-star rating for this book. Like I said, it should have been shorter. Some stuff could definitely been left out, but Sarah J. Maas has obviously a tendency of making her books really long for no apparent reason sometimes. But I really enjoyed it. I liked what I learned. Now I'm going to be reading possibly next month. I'll be reading A Court of Frost and Starlight. Some people could say that it's not really necessary, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it. And then eventually I'll get to A Court of Silver Flames. Eventually. It's a huge book. But yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 star rating for this one. It was dragged along. I got bored really quick. I started I kept reading it, then putting it back down, reading it, putting it back down throughout the entire month of September. And I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and just push through this read. That's how bad it was for me. But yeah, once again, 3 stars out of 5 for A Court of Wings and Ruin. Next book, I did a whole review about it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was really good. It was one of my top reads of 2021, and that is In Every Mirror She is Black by Lola Ackerstrom. And I really enjoyed this book. We followed 3 perspectives, which I'm not even going to get into because I had a review about this book. So I will leave. Once you're done watching this video, you can watch my review about this book, which I'll leave that up above so you can check this out and, read it and put it on your TBR or, and see what you think about it. But you follow 3 perspectives of girls. You follow Kimmy, you follow, of course, there's Johnny, who's the common denominator in this book. You follow Muna, who is from Somalia, who is then is a refugee and goes to Stockholm, Sweden. And then you also have, I'm trying to remember the other girl. I know it's Kimmy, Muna, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, Brittany Ray, Lord. Brittany Ray. So, like I said, I did a whole review about this book, so I'll leave that video up above so you can check it out, but I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars for this one right here. These next books are children's books. So I read Little Kid, Big City, New York. I had read this to my kids when we get to travel around New York because they've never been. I've been to New York maybe 3 or 4 times. And so you get like pictures of New York, and you get to pretty much choose your destination. So say go to page either 52 or 40. And so if you go to 52, it takes you to a theater the theater district. So I read this a couple times to my kids and they really love it, and we're going to be reading it again because there's so many other adventures that we could take to reading this. So this is another book, 5 out of 5. And then we also read Little Kid, Big City, London. So we went to London right after we went to New York, and it was amazing. We're still reading it because, like I said, there's so many adventures that you can have throughout this book as we travel through the town of, the city of London. And a 5 out of 5 star for this one. And then also, I read this to my kids because this was part of a book tour that I was part of, so I was able to get an earlier copy, and I had posted my review on Goodreads. And this book is We Can, Portraits of Power by Tyler Gordon. My kids love this book so much because it talks about all the people that had backgrounds where they felt like they couldn't get out or they couldn't do anything, do something in their life. And so there's different examples of saying we can become presidents and everything like that. So it says at the very beginning, it says, "Dear reader, when I first realized the power of my paintbrush, I was only 10 years old. I told my mom about a dream I had where God said that if I didn't use my gifts, he was going to take them away from me. At first, she didn't want to pay much attention to this because I had never painted before. Eventually, after endless pestering, she allowed me to enter my school's STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics competition. I painted a portrait of our principal that actually won first place. As shocked as I was to receive the top prize, I knew that it was only the beginning. Now, 4 years later, I have painted over 300 portraits and I'm just getting started. The people in this book are icons who have changed the world in their own groundbreaking ways. When I reflect on where I want to be in the future, I think about the accomplishments of these strong, brave people, and it gives me inspiration to put my all into everything I do. To everyone whose portrait appears in this book, thank you for being who you are. Because of what you have accomplished, kids just like me know that we can too." And that was said by Tyler Gordon. So we have Kamala Harris in here. We have Maya Angelou. We have Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We have John Lewis. We have Stacey Abrams right here. We have Joe Biden. We have Barack Obama. We have Colin Kaepernick. There's so many people. We have Naomi Osaka, Tiger Woods. We have Serena Williams. We have Muhammad Ali. We have Kobe Bryant, Jackie Robinson in the sports. We have LeBron James. And they all have their stories too. We have Marilyn Monroe, the Beatles, Chadwick Boseman right there. And under Chadwick Boseman, it said Chadwick Boseman will forever be remembered as the Black Panther, the Wakandan crime fighter and king. When the movie Black Panther came out in 2018, the cultural impact it had on the Black community was felt far and wide. I saw Black Panther 5 times and can recite the words from beginning to end. My friends can do the same. Mr. Chadwick embodied the pride and dignity that we all felt as we watched the film. And then we have Janet Jackson. We have Bob Marley. We have Lady Gaga. And we have Michelle Obama. And I believe, and we have Tyler Perry, Steve Jobs, and we have Oprah Winfrey. And we also have Will Smith, Ice Cube, and Viola Davis. And we also have Amanda Gorman. which under Amanda Gorman, it says Amanda Gorman is a poet and activist who presented her poem, The Hill We Climb, at the inauguration of President Joe Biden. Her poetry explores topics such as systematic oppression, feminism, race, and the African diaspora. She was the first person to be named as the National Youth Poet Laureate, and Miss Amanda and I have a lot in common. We both have a twin sibling, we were both born prematurely, and we both have similar speech impediments. And then we also have Prince and Whoopi Goldberg. And under Prince, it says Prince was a singer and songwriter who had a major impact on the modern music industry by creating music like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, and Kiss, which people loved and still listen to today. When he died, I wanted to find a way to honor his life. I painted his portrait outside on a warm, sunny day. When I was finished, my mom told me how much he was loved and admired, which made me proud to have captured his image on canvas. And then we also have Andy Warhol, we have Jimi Hendrix, and we have Jean-Michel Basquiat. And then that's it. So there's a lot of icons in this book that my kids really enjoyed and really felt like they can. I was really looking forward to even seeing Simone Biles in it, but it's okay. We still have a book with Simone Biles in it as well, which I think I read like a couple months ago, and of her being a gymnast. And since my daughter is now learning gymnastics and being part of gymnastics, she just is inspired even more by Simone Biles. But yes, I read this to my kids where it says "We Can," and they really, really loved it. So 5 out of 5 star for this one. But that is all of the books that I have read in September. I believe that's 10. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 10 books total, which I have no idea how I did it. But yes, here is all the books that I read in September. Right here, it's heavy. But anyways, that is pretty much all the books I have read in September. There were a lot of, like I said, amazing reads, some reads, and some like really disappointing reads, but I still enjoyed reading some of these books, especially the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin and In Every Mirror She's Black. I really love those books. So yeah, that is my September wrap up. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please give me a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. And please, please, please stay healthy and stay safe. See ya.